Yenni used 300 grams more than 1/3 of the flour to bake a cake. She then used 50 grams more than 1/4 of the remainder to bake tarts. If she has 700 grams of flour left, how much flour did she have at first? Okay, so take note of the word of the remainder. Now, when you have the word of the remainder, can we go and make the denominators of the fractions the same? All right, so think about the significance of the numerator and the denominator. This is very important. Okay, so this denominator here, she used 300 grams more than 1/3 of the flour. The word of the flour means this 3 units is the total flour at first. Okay, so 1 unit, of course, is part of her baking a cake. Now, then the next fraction. Okay, so I'm helping you all understand how to break down the comprehension of the language and understand the significance of the denominators. Right? So this denominator, she then used 50 grams more than 1/4 of the remainder to bake tarts. So this 4 units here refers to the remainder. The remainder meaning to say after whatever she used to bake the cake, then whatever is left, that is called the remainder. Okay, so notice that this 4 and this 3, they are referring to two different things. This is total, this is remainder. So I should not make the denominators the same because they are both representing different values, different groups of items. Okay, so be careful. Don't always think that, oh, I see fractions means I must make denominators the same. No, that's not true. All right. So since we're not making denominators the same, how should we do such a question? We need to draw a model out. Okay, so whenever you see the word a fraction of the remainder, a model has to be used. No making denominators the same. Okay, so let's go on to draw the model. So how should I draw it first? Of course, I start with the three units first, not the 4. Okay, 4 is the remaining later. So start off with drawing 3 units. Make sure you're drawing big enough so that you've got space to cut and do your labelings and whatsoever. Okay, so 3 big parts. Now, to bake a cake, she's not just going to use 1 out of 3. She's going to use another 300 grams more than this 1 unit. Okay, so 1 unit with an additional 300 grams that was spilled into this center unit, that would be your baking of cake. So you can draw a dotted line and you can put the 300 grams down. Now, some of you, maybe you don't want to draw a dotted line first. You would rather draw the arrow to label the cake first. Also can, okay? I think some of you might feel more comfortable that way first. So some of you can see that, okay, I have 1 unit with another 300 grams. You see, 1 unit with an extra 300 grams. Then you can go on to draw the dotted line down and then you will be able to figure out this is your 300. Okay, because I understand there's this confusion whereby some of you are not sure. Your 300, are you supposed to go on the left-hand side of the dotted line or on the right-hand side? There are different scenarios, okay, depending on the type of question that they're asking. So in this case, it's 1 unit plus another 300 more than. All right, I'm just going to erase my writings. Okay, so I'll just follow the slide. So in this case, yes, 300 grams will be here, and you see 1 unit with 300 is what you use to bake the cake. Now, the next thing is whatever is left here, you need to first identify remainder. Okay, so this is called your remainder. Now, and from the second fraction, we know that the remainder should have 4 parts. However, looking at our remainder here, obviously we don't see 4 equal parts. So what we got to do is we got to redraw the remainder layer down into a next model, into another layer, and we cut that into 4 equal parts. So you see, it's the same remainder, just that I redraw it down so that I am able to cut into 4 parts so that I can label the tarts later on. And now let's go on to label the tarts. So she used 50 grams more than 1 part of the remainder to bake the tarts. So 1 unit with an additional 50 grams. So the additional 50 grams somewhere here. So draw a dotted line again. Your 50 grams will be on the left-hand side of the dotted line. And this part, 1 unit with 50 grams will be the tarts. Okay, I hope this is clear so far. And following on, she has 700 grams of flour left. Of course, whatever is left is from the dotted line all the way to the end. Okay, so model finished, complete. Next, of course, we can go on to see how we can solve the following, looking in the model. So of course, we're going to work on the second layer first. Top layer, there's nothing much we can do for now. So bottom layer, 50 grams and 700 grams. I hope you can tell 50 and 700 are parts of these 3 units over here. You see, 50 with 700, they are parts of it, okay? So to find the value of these 3 units, simply 700 plus 50. So that is our first step. And this 750, we are going to divide by 3 because we want to find 1 unit's value. Okay, now once you get 1 unit's value, write it back into one of the units, 250 grams. This is a good habit to do so. Okay, let me erase the highlighted portion. So 250 grams is for this unit. Now, obviously, this does not mean that the top unit is 250. Okay, the top unit is so much bigger, it has to be something else, some other values, which we are going to work towards to later on. All right, so we have to find the whole remainder first. Okay, because later I need to work towards the top layer. So find the whole entire remainder. How many grams is that? And you should see that's 4 parts, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units. So 250 times 4. So this 4 units is 1000 grams. Which also means going to the top layer now, we move our way towards the top now. This remainder part also is the same 1000 grams. So you can record it down next to the remainder. Now, shift your focus to the top now. Don't care about the bottom really, okay? Because the top part now, we got sufficient information to solve now. So looking at this 1000, this part is 1000. Okay, this is 1000. And this is a 300. So can you see that your 1000 with the 300 is these 2 huge units over here? Okay, the 1000 with the 300 is the 2 large units. So we are going to add them, 1000 plus 300. And this 1300 is for the 2 big units. So of course, again, we need to find 1 unit, just divide by 2, and rotate back into the model. Whenever you found 1 unit, always write it back down. 1 big unit is 650 grams. Okay, and finally, we can find how much flour she has at first. At first means the top 3 huge units over here. That is your at first. So simply 650 times 3. And that would be your answer.